Now in this video, I click around and I don't really know how to kill the Amun Ra boss to finally get into Inferno. I never really find anything. Everyone's doing 2 billion damage a second and they just mop the floor. You don't actually get to see any of the mechanics. So I made this video so that it's fairly long and you get to see all mechanics. And I'll direct you about what's going on. So first off, to even get to this boss, you need to have Curacan keys, and you go to Pyramid 1, I believe it is, Pyramid 1, and have a dungeon there, and you go into that dungeon. You'll see like it has a little key next to the name. And then this is the area, Curacan. Anyway, it's like its own little map. Now you want to clear all the mobs here because to actually fight the boss, you need 50 scrolls of raw, and these mobs drop it, which you can see one dropped right there. So I'm just running around in like my farming build, just killing some of the mobs and clearing the zone. But to make it's like I don't know if it's an Ankh or whatever. I don't remember the name. I'm fairly new to the game. But if you go to the NPC that you sell your gear to, he sells these little sigils that are 600k. So you need to combine 2 of those 600k sigils plus 50 scrolls of raw, I think they are, and then you then go to the craft machine and you can create the like golden ankh or whatever, because inside this area is a dungeon entrance that requires you to have that item to go in. And that's really it. Now I could fast forward through this, but like I said, I don't have very many mythics on, or angelics on, excuse me. So the damage, I'm not gonna burst through the boss like it's nothing. Okay, here I finally finished clearing the whole place, and you can see I think it says Tomb of Amun Ra. I'm picking my bossing build, which is it's mostly still single target. I put different boots on, so I don't need movement phasing. You use the Ankh, you go in, and then there's some beginning mobs to kill. I'm also running max resistances. If I didn't want to run maximum like 70, I think my resistance is 75%. And if I didn't want to run that, of course I could do a little bit more damage. I also forgot to switch out my vials to something that was damage, because I typically put magic find gear on, which has no resistances, so I have movement speed, resistance vial, and then experience vial on. I forgot to switch those out. So I could have every 45 seconds had a burst of damage, would have made this a lot quicker, but I didn't. So here, waiting for stuff to happen, I buff myself because I have, I forgot what it's called, that gives you the Viking move to increase hit points. Here we go. So he calls Crushing Meteor. Meteors come down, you just dodge them like I did. Decaying Wall are these zombies that come from the top, the bottom, and the sides of the screen, and they typically one-shot you. So Jet dodge the meteors again and move around to dodge these guys. He then pulls out 6 coffins at the same time these guys are moving around, which causes a lot of congestion on the screen, but you just keep dodging while you're doing damage. And the Bloodletting build gives you like AoE at the same time as single target. So then you go once you get into a certain point, maybe it's 70%, he opens up a portal, you go inside, and it's this boss right here, which, because my hit points are high and my lifesteal is really high and I have max resistances, I'm not really taking too much damage here, but what you would do is stay within, like, not getting hit by those red lines as they rotate around, and you just stand there, like, you keep rotating with them and kill the boss without getting touched by the red lines. But because high hit points, high resistance, and life stealing, I don't even have to move. Go back in, dodge the meteors as they fall. And then this is called, I don't remember what it's called, Spark of something or whatever, but you're supposed to move out of the way as those balls come down, go into a spot that doesn't have the balls. If they touch you, they do a shitload of damage. And then the first phase starts over again, where he calls out the moving mummies that are physical damage. He'll call the coffin again, but I got him to whatever percentage to start phase, you know, I would call this phase 3. And it's an AoE boss fight here, where the whole thing is boss fight, is AoE. And you really need to AoE this down. Now, I know either a developer or someone in the chat mentioned that you need 1.4 to 1.6 billion AoE damage to beat this boss. And I did hit 2 billion with a different necklace on, and I put the Philosopher's Stone on purposely for Resistance's cap. And of course it affects my damage, but it's very simple. I mean, they don't do too much damage to me. I don't really know because I have such high lifesteal and there's so many mobs that you just dodge the fire coming out, and they will you know, everyone's getting attacked here, so they are dying slowly. And I don't really think the ad spawn actually stops. So I just go around a circle like this, dodge the fire, and just keep dodging around. That's all I pretty much do, is go in a circle, keep dodging stuff. They have slow movement. I don't have a slow on or anything. And since I'm playing a Plague Doctor and the knives actually bounce around between targets, they do eventually slowly kill the boss in the middle of the room, which is called the Shade of Sobek, which is just a big lizard guy, I think. I'm not really too sure, or a big alligator. And when he dies, you actually don't have to finish off the mobs. You can actually jump back in the portal as soon as it spawns, but I couldn't see it here, so I'm trying to kill them off. And when you go through, meteors are gonna come down, so I'm still again trying to kill the mobs off so I can click on the portal. Okay, so you gotta dodge this move again. Now I normally die here, so I think you're supposed to touch those circles in the corners, because I've died here 3 times where no spot happens. So I think you're supposed to touch that. I'm not too sure. Dodge the crushing meteors, kill off these guys, and then he'll do this spark move again, and you'll have a spot to dodge. Just stand in the middle of it. Dodge meteors again, because he'll call the second sparks that come down, he'll call meteors. Oh, I just saw I touched the thing, and a debuff disappeared. He does the sparks again. Meteors are going to come down now. Oh, meteors are going to come. So here's the corrupted sarcophaguses again. They drop mobs. You AoE them down. You go over there, remove the debuff, come back, meteors, killing mobs at the same time. I really don't have to do anything because it's automatic AoE. Stand in the spots that those sparks won't kill you. Dodge meteors at the same time, because the second sparks, he does drop meteors. Phase them into the third phase where it's just the heart. You can't do any damage to the heart unless you kill off the mobs that are all over the place. And me moving around doesn't actually help anything, and I don't have any damage increase to burn them down. But as soon as they die, you can then do damage to the heart. But then you have to kill them fast enough, or he'll call them out again, which you can see they did. Eventually, I just stand there and don't move, because I don't take any damage. I'm doing a little bit of damage. They come right to me. AoE him down, because I don't have any. I only have the speed increase from, I don't remember what the move is called, but you have attack speed increase. And I'll just use it from time to time when I can. Now this part is where the long part of the fight happens, because it's slow and steady. Sometimes, I don't know if they're little spiders or something, but they don't, oh, they're little globs or blobs. They don't come to you sometimes, so you have to go over and tag them. But if all of them come to you, it's very simple. They'll burn down like this, and then you can do a little bit of damage. And this is the part that takes a really long time. Nothing actually happens from here on at all. It's literally rinse and repeat. The mobs come, you kill them. You attack the heart. It becomes immune. You kill these mobs. You then do damage. He becomes immune when he calls out the blobs again, and that's it. Once you get it down to 0 or whatnot, that's the end of the fight. And it's good just to show some of the mechanics, because I'm telling you, I've watched 100 videos where it doesn't go through the mechanics. These guys are doing 2 to 3 to 4 billion damage a second, which is like 5 times faster than I'm doing, and it's so fast that you don't actually get to see any mechanics to try to figure it out. Now, of course, one other option you have, instead of trying to do this on Hell 5, you go back to Hell 1. But you know, I think Huracan keys are extremely rare. So, I mean, for all the months I've been playing, I only had 8. The Scrolls of Ra, I only collected like 300. And I'm not trying to collect them, but for months on end, I've been playing the game and just slowly collecting stuff, playing other classes and whatever. And that's all I've gotten. So, do we really want to go spend 1.2 million gold and go try this on H1 just to figure out the mechanics part and the phases and stuff? You can, but I feel like that's such a huge waste of gold. Now, if you're playing on normal, of course, you can get a couple good drops, sell the items, and maybe get your gold that way, and it's no big deal. But this is SSF, and this is my first time playing the game. I chose SSF because I don't have anyone to play with. I wasn't planning on playing it with anyone because I didn't know how this game worked, where you can just jump into people's lobbies and play with them. I didn't know that was a thing. So I chose SSF for the drop rate increase. I think there's one. I'm pretty sure that's why I chose it. So farming out 1 million gold to try the boss takes about 3 or 4 days depending on what I'm doing and whatever. So if it was me, I don't want to go to H1 to figure out the boss to have a chance that he doesn't drop anything, because that's a very big possibility too. I'm checking his life here. You can see it's about 20%, and I can just stand there. I literally just stood there and hold the button down and didn't move. So I didn't want to go to H1 to figure out the fight and then not get anything. I wanted to beat him in H5 to go into Inferno, and all Inferno is for me is just to have a higher magic find to maybe get something. Yes, a lot of the bosses have Inferno only drops, so of course you want to go there for those drops. But you know, what I was doing is since I have nothing to do and I need the gold, I would just go level up another character, play them, and sell stuff off for gold and whatever. And when I had enough, I'd come back and try the boss again. I did that for a total of like, from one Amon-Ra attempt to the next one was like 3 days. And this is the time I beat him. And very easy fight. I didn't know there was a debuff or something you need to remove. Okay, you go through here. The dude has like 1 hit point left. I think he just got stabbed by one of my daggers that are going around or whatnot, and that was it. And I got a drop. And it's a charm. Sobek's Fall, and it's another summoning style charm, which I don't have any summons. Stuff I got from Gabriel's for summons. This also has some summons, and it's for casting. So it says poison link, light radius, fire skills. I don't know if that says fire skills where that actually can be something else. And that's the fight. I think the video is going to end really quick, and that's the fight. Hopefully you get to see the mechanics and learn something.